hope this gets out and goes viral. I'll keep you posted. Who's next?
Can I add something to what you just said?
Yes, sir.
I just want to add one
Come on
thing.
up.
This is an open mic and we have the First Amendment still. So
Come on up.
I just want to add to the story about Asbury Park. I ran a couple housing units in Asbury Park, and we had a couple drug dealers show up to the building one day. They were all colored up, and they wanted to collect some money that was owed to them by a tenant there. And they were, of course, carrying guns, which I can only assume were not rightfully registered or legal. And they basically knocked on the door. They started harassing the gentleman. The super, who was actually a member of a rival gang, called the police, and the police told them to call us back if there's shots fired. So I don't begrudge the police if they're too busy, other than the fact that a lot of those tenants are also afraid to call the police, because I've heard horror stories of what happens and who actually shows up when they call the police. And, you know, it's not the police, it's whatever gang that they're calling about, because there's a lot of corruption down there. But I don't begrudge the police because they can't police everywhere. But I begrudge the politicians for not letting these people carry guns, which is their natural, unalienable right to life and self-protection. That's what I want to add.
yeah, please. Let's hear it for her. Great speech.
There you go.
I just want to say one more thing that he mentioned about the police being able to protect you. For instance, a perfect example is when we just had the storm. Not too real. When we had the hurricane, we happened to have many, many trees down in my area. Practically every road in and out of our road was blocked with a downed tree. They were actually letting us drive underneath a tree that was covering the road. It was kind of like a tree tunnel, if you will, to let us get in. One night I came home from work and they had every single road in. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 intersections blocked so that you weren't able to get to where we live. I got out of my car and I walked up to the police barricade and I said, you know, what's going on? I have tried every single road to get in here. I can't get to my house. They said, well, being that the gas situation was getting so out of control, the station on our corner was the only one who still had gas. There were people having little arguments. It was getting a little chaotic. So they had a patrol car there, plus at every single intersection where they could come into the road. So I said, but I live here. Why is the road closed? He said, well, we had to close the road. There's too many people coming from other areas to get to the gas station, and it was getting like a little hairy with what was going on the road. So now I'm thinking when I go home, oh, that's great. You're here on the road where you live. They have every road blocked off, maybe 6, 7 police cars, and you have a bunch of people going wacko, like right down the road over gas prices or trying to get gas. If I needed somebody or some of these people got out of control and I'm in my house by myself, what police are showing up? If we have 6 police cars in the town, who is going to be there to help me when they're all at the intersections? And that's exactly the kind of thing that most people don't understand that can happen when there's some kind of disaster or some kind of situation going on. You can't rely on law enforcement or, the cavalry to ride in and save you. They got other things to do. You need to be able to protect yourself, and you need to know how to protect yourself. And that's why I'm telling every single person that I know, whether it's people that don't exactly think like me, and when you start to propose it to them in that way, and you start to show them the things that can happen if they let stuff like this go on, like what's going on inside, then you're really going to have a problem. You're just going to, might as well just be a bunch of sheep.
Just an update.
Well, it's still a kangaroo court. Now they're going to hear all of the bills. They're going to review the bills and then hear testimony at the end, all bundled together to save time. which is nice because their time is much more valuable than ours. Somebody's coming out. Frank is going to come out, either Flamingo or Frank True. They're going to come out and talk a little bit about what's going on. They're on their way down now, I believe. So we'll keep you posted.
Sounds like they're overwhelmed to me.
Hey, how y'all doing? I had a nice speech, but Anthony told me it was a little too common sense and I shouldn't bother with it. So I'll speak my mind and off the cuff a little bit. Listening to some of these people here today, I started handling firearms at the age of 12 with the Boy Scouts. Growing up in this state, I'm now a nationally ranked competitive shooter. I have watched that sport in this state diminish to nothing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the rifle club that was in Red Bank, New Jersey that I used to belong to is gone. Woodbridge Rifle and Pistol Club, are they still around? Wayne, PAL, are they still around? They're not. And it's a shame because growing up, that's how I was introduced to firearms and what I did. My dad was a certified rifle instructor. I now am and have been certified rifle and pistol instructor in this state. And it has evolved into a small business where we teach women self-defense, not particularly with firearms, open hand, but it evolved into that because I had a student ask me one day, well, why don't you teach firearms as well? Because she saw the certificates up on my wall. Never dawned on me. But my main point of the speech is that the state of competitive shooting in this state has been diminished or depleted to nothing. And because there's no involvement of the younger people in that sport, more closed minds come out, I guess, because of there's no interaction. I've been a life member of the NRA since I was 15 years of age.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many other 15-year-olds there are that are a life member. My parents gave it to me as a birthday present. These laws that they're trying to pass are no good. We have enough here in this state. They need to enforce what we have here in this state and not add frivolous stuff that's going to cost us more in tax dollars and just be a waste of time. That's pretty much how I feel about it. Thank you.
Morning, Patriots! Morning. Coming in, of course. We're all here for each other. We hang together or we die separately. I am preparing this speech for tonight, so I figured I'd give you a little bit of it. Before I start, I'd like to introduce the group to the concept of Project Appleseed. Project Appleseed. Show of hands, has anyone ever heard about it? Excellent. Project Appleseed, it's a 503c. It's an educational group, and it teaches American history, and it teaches marksmanship. And it's good. Kids love it, people love it, a lot of camaraderie. But what I learned there, and I was awakened to, is that in 1774, the powder alarm occurred, September of 1774, where the British came in and took our guns. We got mad. We all got together and we thought about it, and by the spring of 1775, we were ready. We had Paul Revere, you heard about the alarm riders. There were more than one, but Paul Revere was ready, that whole thing. The British boys showed up. They shot some of us at the Green. They marched on toward Punkatassett Hill. By the time they got up there, we had about 450 people that had collected over a period of time. We made the boys run. By the time they got out of the area, there were 15,000 troops. That was our militia. Under 10 U.S.C. 311, we are not only charged with the legal authority to form a militia, called an unorganized militia, but we have the duty as Americans is an idea of the free state. I'd just like to read this to you guys. Free state is used in the Second Amendment. I read, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. What are they doing up there? They're infringing. Who are these people? Traitors, domestic enemies. You take an oath under Article 6 of the Constitution to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. And what are they doing up there? Some of the boys are up there and women are fighting for us, so I don't want to just brush everybody. But the idea of a free state, it was used by Americans during the Revolutionary era in the same, that the idea that every free state should incessantly watch and instantly take alarm on any addition being made to the power exercised over them, which is occurring right now. And the concept of free state before 1776 and after 1776 meant a free country, free from despotic rule. That's all it means. It does not mean that a political subdivision of the United States, being New York, being, give me another state, I'm gonna throw it up like New Jersey, that concept means our National Guard. Our National Guard, I was a member of the National Guard, is half, roughly, of our combined strength of the United States government.